Hi, welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids with me, Khat Hansen, your host. Hi everyone, welcome to Understanding Conscious Cryptids. Today's lesson is going to be about giants, otherwise known as Litahachito, which pretty much translates out to a big, dirty, stinky, hairy man. I'm sorry, but that's how it translates out. Sorry. Oh boy. Yeah, I know. Crossover is not good. I gotta stop myself from laughing every time I say that one because everyone gets so upset with me when I do that. But I'm sorry, but it is funny to me. So, I want to show how there's a correlation between indigenous peoples on the North American continent, on the South American continent, in the old world. You know, people think that giants only come from the European section, and that's not true. The legends come from all over the world about giants. You know, the Asian culture has them, European culture has them, South American culture has them, Russian culture has them. I mean, they're just all over. So I always find it funny when people say, well, they didn't exist. Well, if they didn't exist, then how come we have a word for them? You know, and all the descriptions are pretty much the same. You know, the big giants weren't always friendly. They had a really bad reputation for being dirty and smelly and eating humans. Yeah, they had a predilection for humans. I mean, that's in every culture. So, yeah, can we not say that they didn't exist, please? Because as an archaeologist, I've found a number of big bones. Big bones that don't fit human beings, you know. Things with 6 digits, you know, things like that. I mean, it's kind of creepy here. So people need to understand that when I'm talking about giants, I mean giants. Okay, I don't mean something else. You know, I don't mean that it's something that's, you know, a make-believe toy or a fable or something like that. No, I'm talking about an honest-to-goodness, big, hairy, stinky thing that eats human beings. Now, that being said, people say, well, okay, I'll give you the benefit of a doubt, Kat, and say, just for the reasoning, you know, behind it, okay, they existed, but that was existed, not today. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, hello, yes they do. We see them all the time. People see them in the wilderness all the time. They call them mountain giants or trolls, things like that, you know. And I want people to understand they're very real. They are very real. And if they weren't alive to this day, we wouldn't have people seeing them, you know. We wouldn't have cases of footprints being found, or we wouldn't have pictures being taken of these guys. I mean, seriously here, folks. They're in the wilderness, okay? And it kind of goes back to religious scripture. Says they were given the wilderness to live in. You know, they're banished away from us humans. Well, us humans are kind of spreading out here. You know, we're overtaking the world. So, hey, why not? Let's go trekking into the woods. And while we're out there, oh, by the way, you see that giant thing over there that's running at us real fast and growling and making that terrible... Yeah, it wants to eat us. So, giants do exist. Now, is Bigfoot a giant? I honestly can't tell you, but I do know this. In dealing with them, they're giants to me. I mean, I'm whopping 5'4" on a good day. So, they're pretty doggone big. I mean, when I'm sitting there looking at one of them, I'm thinking in particular, If I'm looking at Nali is huge. He's bigger than Kyasa. We're talking 10 plus feet here. That's a big guy. Okay, when he puts his foot next to mine, my foot looks like his big toe. I know that sounds so stupid, but it's the truth. These guys are huge. And the females, average out between 6 and 6.5 feet tall. That's considered petite and dainty for them. Okay, are they giants? Yes. Were the old... Well, there's my messages telling me I got messages. Whoop-de-doo. Sorry. I know. I do this a lot when I'm talking to you guys. I'm sorry. I can't turn my phone off. I get so many people texting me, emailing me. And it's just like when I turn the phone off, they all scream at me, "Cat, turn it back on." So I'm trying to figure this out, people. Bear with me. I'm just saying that the Steyama, to me, are giants. But when you run into others that are bigger than them, then I have to stop thinking of them as a giant and maybe a descendant of a giant. But there are those out there that are bigger than the Steyama, and people run into them in the forest a lot. I get stories or messages handed off to me from ranchers, of all things, like ranchers in Montana, that up there in the mountains in the wilderness where they're grazing their sheep or their cattle or whatever it is they're grazing off up there. And I get told, "Hey, Cat, I saw a giant." What is it? Well, one answer, it's a giant, okay? So if you see it and it looks like a giant and it stinks like a giant and it growls at you like a giant, chances are it's a giant, and I really don't want you messing with it. Don't poke it with the stick like that. Run away from it. Don't think that your gun is going to take that down, because I've addressed this issue already with the Steyama. Guns, they don't work, period. You're talking about something that's got overdeveloped muscle mass, way denser bones than we do. So bullets tend to tick them off unless you shoot them in the eye, okay? And you have to be a really good shot to be running and looking over your shoulder and shooting your gun into their eye, okay? I'm just saying, you're not that good. I haven't met anybody who's that good yet. Okay, and I know some pretty good marksmen. These guys are hella big, hella mean, and are always looking for food. They're just like the Steyama in that respect. They're always looking for food. Okay, you're going to run into these guys in the most mountainous terrain. Okay, that's where they live. They have a penchant for eating humans, as I've said. So right there, they're not human friendly. We already know this. Okay? Then if you are out in the wilderness and you come across them, logic dictates that you back away slowly. Okay, back away, make as little noise as possible, and run. I don't care. People get angry with me, annoyed with me for being such a baby. They say, "How can you tell people to run?" You know what? I think running away and surviving is really good. So I always tell people, run. If you're going to get away from this thing, seriously, you've got your work cut out for you, because they're huge. They take a step. Their steps are, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 of ours. So you've already lost. These guys are chasing you. And the only way that I can even think of you getting away from them would be, to be like the greatest football player in the world and zigzag a pattern through it all. Because I'm telling you, These guys are huge, okay? I've only ever seen one in my lifetime, and I really didn't want to see that one, you know. The biggest thing I'd ever seen were stick Indians, and we're talking 15 feet. Okay, that was enough for me as a kid. That was way more than enough for me. So to see something that's even bigger than that, that to me is just downright terrifying. And then when you start to go back through all the human history of these things, to find out that they're all pretty much talking about the same type of being, that tells me that they existed, you know. And I'm sure you're looking at the pictures here going, what the heck is that cat? There are things out there, my friends, that exist that are beyond our comprehension. I don't know why Heavenly Father created them. They're just here. You know, people ask me that all the time. Well, why did he make the dinosaurs so big? Well, let's see. Think about how big he is, and then dinosaurs to him probably look like miniatures to us, you know. So I just, amazes me how many people want to go searching for these things and are asking me, well, where would be the best place? I tell you the best place to go, and you write me back and tell me, I don't want to go there because it's too much work. Well, I'm sorry, giants aren't just going to walk into town and say, hi, can you come visit me for a while? Yeah, I'll take you, come hold my hand, I'll take you out there and show you where I live. They're not like that. You're going to run into them in the forest, and you're going to notice right away, bears don't mess with them. Dogs don't mess with them. Cougars don't mess with them. Nothing messes with them. Why? Because A, they're ugly, B, they're stinky, and C, they're really incredibly mean. I mean, they are. They're just mean-tempered, mean-spirited. They just don't want to be around anything or anyone that's intelligent. Okay, anything that could resemble a friend for them, they're not interested in friendship, you know. They're interested in food. So that being said, please don't go out there looking for giants unless you really want to find one. In which case, okay, that's your cup of tea. That's not my cup of tea. Okay, my giants that I deal with are the steyama. Okay, and these guys already have a history of being a little bit on the rough side for playing with, so I really don't want to play with them very much, you know. And yeah, they can throw boulders, they can throw trees. I said it, trees, not branches, trees. You know, they can uproot them just fine. So if my guys can do that at 10 foot tall, imagine what something 25, 30 feet tall can do. We're talking huge, and we're talking using trees for toothpicks, you know. I'm just totally serious here, people. Don't go out in the woods and look for these things, okay? There's other things to look for. I mean, if you want to go look for steyama, go look for them. You know, I've already said you're not going to find them unless they want you to. The same goes for giants. Although, I do know that they are a little bit lazy about covering up their tracks because they really don't have anything to fear from humans. So, they're so big, they're just like, whatever, have a footprint. Or have a handprint, you know, and, hey, did you see me looking at you over the top of those trees over there? Yeah, that was me. You know, they just don't care. They do not care if we see them. So when you're out and about in the forest, please don't go looking for giants. Just don't. Stay away from it. If you want to go look for Sasquatch, more power to you. I hope that you can have some sort of relationship with the Sasquatch people and that you can interact with them and be happy with interacting with them on a giant type level. That being said, I will end this lesson. I hope you all have a good week ahead. Thank you for listening and your support. I really do appreciate it. If you like my videos, please click like and subscribe. Thank you.